All right, everybody. So we are going to be talking about some astonishing stats, not just about Melissa, but about how much more intense hurricanes are becoming in the Atlantic Ocean. And I think this is going to be really eye-opening, and you're probably going to be shocked at how much has changed over just the past few decades, a very short period of time. I want to start with this. So hurricane hunters inside the eye wall of Melissa, right before landfall, detected a wind of 252 miles an hour. That is the strongest ever recorded. And so when the National Hurricane Center goes back and looks at Melissa in their postseason analysis, it is very possible, and this is not just me, there's a lot of experts saying that they may upgrade the system to 190, 195, maybe even 200 miles an hour. Either way, it could very well be upgraded to the strongest hurricane ever in Atlantic history. So are hurricanes getting stronger? The short answer is yes, by a long shot. So let's talk about it. First of all, just over the past 3 decades, you can see just how much the oceans have warmed. Where you see the red, that's a warming ocean. Where you see the blue, it's cooling in those small regions. But the vast majority of the globe is warming and warming a lot. In fact, the waters underneath Melissa were about 4 degrees warmer than 4 degrees Fahrenheit, warmer than they were like 100 years ago. All right, so I looked into this. I said, okay, we know climate change probably had something to do with Melissa's intensity, but what if we look at hurricanes back in the 1980s and 90s and then in the 2000s, and we compare the exact same number of years? Look at that. For Cat 4 and Cat 5 hurricanes, we had a storm count of 30 back in the 90s, the 80s and 90s. And then over this past 23 years or so, we've seen a storm count of 56, so nearly double the number of extreme hurricanes. All right, what about rapid intensification? That has gone off the charts. So this is called extreme rapid intensification. It's when a storm gets really strong very fast. We had 3 of those episodes back in the 1980s, 90s, up to 2002. But just in the past 23 years or so, equal amounts of time span, we've seen 6 times more of those episodes, up to 18. So you can see these rapid intensifications and the stronger storms are becoming stronger. And this last one, how did climate change factor into Melissa? Well, water temperatures were 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit above normal of just the last 30-year average. You go back 100 years, it's 4 degrees Fahrenheit above normal. So that likely climate change made the intense water temperatures 800 times more likely than they otherwise would have been, and it likely made the intensity of Melissa 10 to 15% stronger. So climate change is having a huge impact on the intensity of hurricanes. I'm Chief Meteorologist and Climate Specialist Jeff Baradelli.